Hey, you beautiful people. So, what are you doing today that makes you remind you? It just tells you, hey, just be thankful, be grateful. You know what? We always try to rely on ourselves, the love that we have, to always get us through everything. And remember, we're human beings. We make mistakes. We fall down. We miss the mark all the time. But whose love is always present, whose love is everlasting, whose love never fails, whose love is eternal, whose love never gave up, will never give up, whose love keeps me pushing and driving and fighting this good fight in life, whose love has made me more than a conqueror, whose love has gotten me out of situations, out of circumstance that there was no other way, whose love has grounded me, has been rooted deep into me, whose love is the love that operates in me even when my love is not there. Because when I realized, when I try to do it all on my own, it doesn't work, because my ways are not perfect. But you know whose way is? So I have a story. Early this morning, I was coming from seeing a friend of mine, and I was really craving ginger ale. So I stopped by the bodega, aka the corner store at the gas station. And so I got a ginger ale. And I was like, you know what? I want some snacks too. So I got some snacks too. But as I was going in the store, I parked, and there was a guy that was, walking around, and I knew what he wanted. He wanted to ask for something, and I wasn't in the mood. First of all, I had a long day, and I was tired. I just wanted my ginger ale, and that's all. And he asked, when I got out of the car, this gentleman, a homeless guy, asked me, he was talking about he wants something, and I told him not right now. So I went inside the store, and I got my ginger ale, and I got a few snacks, and I was talking to the cashier. We were just talking about how our day is going, and what time he gets off from his shift and things like that. And then finally I exit the store, and the homeless guy that approached me, he was over at the gas stalls where he was pumping someone's gas for them. And I'm sure they gave him something. I hope so. So he yelled out, "I'll see you later." And I was like, okay. I got in the car, and I was listening to a song. But the point is, I left the parking lot. So I'm driving out, and I'm driving. It's like maybe 2 minutes. I'm driving down the road, and God is speaking to my heart. He said, "Why did you leave? How come you didn't?" It doesn't take forever to ask someone what do they need, or what can you offer them at that moment. And I was like, I just didn't feel like it. And he said, it doesn't matter that you didn't feel like it. You're not going to always feel like doing the right thing. But guess if you have the perfect love operating in you, it will remind you, even when your love has run out, even when your energy is run out, even when you don't have any more drive, when you keep relying on yourself, God steps in and says, "Don't you know? I always got you." There's a term they use in the military and the armed forces. They got your six, meaning they got your back, your front, your back, your side. They looking out for your best interest. But guess what? God's perfect love, his eternal love, this grace, is unmerited, is undeserved, but his love towards us because of what Jesus did, it's always in us. So all we got to do is take it. We got to receive it. So Jesus has provided the receipt for us to live a life in commune. It's a personal relationship. So not by rules and regulations. That's not how we live. We live through the Spirit. And my spirit was speaking to me. So my soul, my thinker, my feeler, my chooser, God was saying, you know what? Stop relying on just yourself. I'm speaking to you. Now, you can listen. We're free moral agents, meaning you have the choice to do what you want. There's still consequences, though. So, do you want to live with those consequences, or would you rather listen? But God still loves us no matter what. He just loves us. So, I turned around and I drove back to the gas station, and I told the guy, as soon as I got out the car, Lord, well, before I got out the car, I said, Lord, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do, but just, you want me to turn around? I'm going to turn around. So I turned around, I went to the gas station, I got out the car, and I apologized. I'm sorry, sir. I've had a long day, and are you hungry? It's kind of chilly out here. Are you hungry? He had a coat, which is good. He had some gloves, which is wonderful. He had a hat, which is wonderful. He had shoes, which is wonderful. He had socks on, which is wonderful. He had pants on. He had a shirt on, which is wonderful. He was hungry. He was hungry. He wanted fuel, food. No one should ever have to wonder if they're going to have clean drinking water or fuel for the day, which is food, so that your bodily functions can operate at the optimum level to be well. So he said, yeah, he's hungry. So I got him some food. We talked about for 5 minutes. And it's just a blessing, because I told him, I said, I didn't feel like it, but you know what? When we remember that when we give it to God, God says your steps are ordered. So let him do his work. Let him use us as vessels of his love. We're being the light in the world, the hands and the feet of Jesus. There's still miracles right this day happening all throughout the day because of this grace. Ooh, God just loves us so much and it's no longer bound by just a select people. God says he loves all of us. So not just the Jews, but we all have access to this perfect love, the only perfect love, which comes through Jesus. So I am just overjoyed. When you see it, when you experience it, you're like, wow, Lord, thank you that I'm glad that I'm learning to listen and see how it's not about all that I can do. Because let me get myself out of the way. It's not about how I feel, what I'm thinking about, or any of that stuff. Lord, use me. Speak through my vocal cords and think through my mind. None of me, but all of you. And as we commune and we speak to God, we listen to God, we can see that we are blessed to be a blessing. That's right. It is well.